Alright guys, quick tutorial on maybe doing like a leather strap handle wrap. Alright, something that's going to wrap really well together. First thing to do is get just the circumference of this grip figured out. And you can see that as I wrap it up tight and get that first initial tip, I put a line on my leather right there. This is going to be the length of our skive joint. So once we've determined how long that skive joint needs to be, I'm going to just lay up a straight edge to the corner here and cut a nice straight edge right along that mark, right along that distance. Should end up with something that looks a lot like that. And that'll give us the start of our wrap. So we got a flat, even edge across the top of the wrap there. So now that we've got our skive across the top edge or leading edge, I'm going to wrap our strap tightly against the grip and determine how far down we want it to go and then end. And then we're going to put a corresponding skive on the bottom edge. And so I want this one to stop right about here. It's the depth I want it to go. We'll get that guy marked out. I'm going to measure out the original skive joint, and we're going to match that joint on this. I'm going to match that length on this other end. Since the grip that I'm putting this on is of equal circumference more or less across its length, we're going to get a good joint by copying that skive. All right, so I'm going to cut this and then we'll go from there. Once you've measured everything out and cut it, you should end up with something that looks real similar to this. Right, depending on the length of your handle. Of course, I'm putting this on one of the bows that I had built for the young men up the street here. When I apply this, I apply the raw edge of the cut laying down, or the edge of my skive going down. And this, you could do that either way, truthfully, it doesn't matter. But this then will get wrapped, and you attach this to your bow however you see fit, if you want to use like barge cement or anything like that. But a well measured joint should finish off just like that. All right, so everything is a nice flat. It ends on a flat edge and starts on a flat edge. And I'll show you how I get that to stick to my grip. All right, so before we get on with applying this to the grip, what I've done here is went in and soaked it in warm water, the strap of leather, and got it twisted around a much smaller diameter piece of wood here. And what this is going to do, is teach this piece of leather to coil up and make applying it to the actual bow a little easier. All right, guys, so took the leather wrap off the dowel that we had it on. It's been allowed to dry now for probably an hour and a half or so. Now it's time to put it on the grip. And if you have followed my channel for any length of time, it should come as no surprise that I'm going to employ double stick tape to get this grip put on the handle. Now, I have tried to put the tape on directly on the leather for this application, and that did not work. And so trying a little different process with the tape actually directly onto the bow itself. And actually this is not going on straight. Let's see here. Here we go. Trying to do this without getting my hands on the tape itself. Just get this wrapped down real nice and tight. And once it's down nice and tight, I'll come back around and probably put a piece of rubber band around it just to really tighten it down and get everything to adhere together really well. But here we go. Sorry if I've been off screen a little bit there, but good grip that we can get an arrow rest here on the grip itself for our young men, and on good and tight. And what I'm going to do then is just kind of, and actually I'll probably burnish this a little bit with the shaft of a screwdriver or something, just to kind of work down these little bits of edges that are going on, and then put a rubber band around it to hold it even tighter, make sure that we get a really good tight adhesion. But there you go. Another incarnation or another way of doing this too would be to go through and grind down these edges of the leather. So taking down these corners right here and here, so it kind of rounds it a little bit, and then you can overlap them just the slightest bit and get kind of a lumpy, I don't know if lumpy is the way to describe it, but kind of a bulbed appearance to that grip. Probably something you're accustomed to seeing like on old 10-speed bicycles. All right, so anyway, there you go.